subtly grabbing your tits to tease me, I see, right? So again, you want to start off very smooth. You don't want to just pull this out of nowhere. Oh, by the way, I can make you come like 10 times, right? It has to be contextual. In this video, we're going to show you how to position yourself as a sexual authority when you're talking to a girl over text in order to make her chase you. Alright, so positioning yourself as a sexual authority is a very powerful technique because most guys are horrible in bed, most girls haven't really been fucked properly, and if she thinks you're the kind of guy who's the exception, that you're the kind of guy that knows how to fuck girls well, she's going to go out of her way to hang out with you. However, this is also a very advanced technique because you can't just be like, oh, I'm a sex expert, right? Because then the girl's going to be like, no, you probably suck in bed. It has to be done in a very subtle and smooth way. So basically you're showing her instead of telling her, but you're still telling her because you're doing this over text. This is going to make a lot more sense as we go through the examples. I'm going to show you 3 separate examples of how the guy positions himself as a sexual authority. So the first one belongs to Indian P. So they're talking, she's like, do you want to go out or stay in? Let's stay in, sip on wine, I'll order some food. And here she goes. I don't usually hook up when I first meet someone. I wasn't sure if that's what you were thinking. Again, she might not usually hook up when she meets a guy, but if he's a sexual authority, quite often she's going to be willing to make that exception because, again, he's a rare find. So here he does a takeaway. Who said anything about hooking up? I mean, usually when guys invite you over, they want to do stuff. I just don't want to waste your time. Here he says, I don't enjoy meaningless hookups. I prefer building chemistry first. If there's no chemistry, all you're going to get is a platonic cheek kiss goodbye. So here she says, that's good, I don't either. Glad we're on the same page. You don't hate sex, do you? So now that he's dealt with her objection, he's going to bring it back. No, I don't, haha. I just haven't had the best experiences at all. That's very, very common. So here he says, sorry to hear you met subpar men. Most don't understand how to make a girl comfortable and take the lead. Have no clue what to do in bed. This is a statement that's going to resonate with pretty much every girl. And what he's doing here is by pointing out the fact that most men suck in bed, he's basically implying that he's the exception. He's one of the few men who gets it and he knows how to make the girl come. So here she's like, well, I don't know if I know what I'm doing either. Not to worry, I'll teach you some things. Are you a good student? Now this is framing right here. He's positioning himself as a teacher and she's the student. She says, yeah, I am. Good, we'll get to know each other today, build some chemistry and go from there. How does 6 sound? So here's just logistics. She's like, can I see you after that? What time does your dinner end? I'll be free by 9. He's like, yep, 9 sounds good. I want to be up early. I drive, blah, blah, blah. So can we do 9 p.m.? Cool, yeah, that works for me. And now this date is much more likely to lead to sex because again, he's positioned himself as a sexual authority, which is going to make her curious. Let's take another one. And this also belongs to Indian P. So they're talking. So I guess he's asking for more photos. She sends him a photo. She says, your turn. He sends her a photo. And then he makes a joke, right? Because in one of the photos, she's like kind of rubbing her tits. Subtly grabbing your tits to tease me, I see, right? So again, you want to start off very smooth. You don't want to just pull this out of nowhere. Oh, by the way, I can make you come like 10 times, right? It has to be contextual. She's like, LMFO, you know, the usual, I'm the last guy you'd want to tease. Why is that? Promise you're open-minded. So this is called open looping, right? You're making her curious. She's like, tell me. I used to have a line in my profile description, oral skills. They made me remove it. I've actually written a guide on, and I'm also considered an expert in giving up to 20 orgasms to women in one session. So I can tell when you're about to come, you're not be able to handle when you're almost coming, I don't let you. Again, this has to be very contextual. If you just pull this line out of nowhere, right, the conversation hasn't been sexual so far, then it's gonna backfire in a very drastic fashion. So she's like, oh my God, stop. How am I supposed to believe this without you proving it to me? LFO, why did you start this? Now, keyword, she's like, how am I supposed to believe this without you proving it to me, right? So that's already the situation you wanna be in because now all he has to do is prove it to her, which is something that he wanted to do in the first place. So again, you don't want to get too excited on this, like when she says something like that, you don't want to be like, oh my God, yeah, I'll just totally prove it to you then, right? Because then you're falling for the trap. So here he doesn't jump on it, right? He says, think you can handle all the orgasms I give you? Probably not. Well, definitely not. I'll start you off with just 5 then. I actually have a hard time allowing myself to release easily. Making me come is a challenge in of itself, so I'm interested. Again, now she's curious. That's because you need to be in the right headspace. The man needs to be able to help you relax, go really slow, do a lot of foreplay, and know the right techniques. Again, this is very important. Like, foreplay is a huge component in comfort for a woman to come, and by acknowledging that and telling her that, she will see that you get it. Orgasms or squirtings for women are 70% emotional, 30% techniques. So yeah, so that's definitely very much true. And men don't know how to handle all that. She says, yeah, I know men don't know how to handle all that. Again, this is a different girl, but she's saying the same thing. Most men suck in bed. That's just a fact. So here he says, sorry to hear you mostly met subpar men so far. Again, same thing as he did in the last example. He's separating himself and implying he's one of the few men that gets it. Yep, LMAO, they claim to be good and aren't. So if I hang out with you and we do this, good luck. So she's challenging him. But again, she's challenging him to literally make her come. Yeah, I've heard that complaint from a lot of girls. They say that men promise them the world but give them peanuts. Pretty much. I'm not worried one bit. I am lol, but I'm glad you're not. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Right? What is it? First, you like wine, of course, and then he sets it up for the date, right? So again, this is very smoothly done. Next one belongs to one of the guys in our mastermind group. I want to do this one because it's from the beginning on Tinder. So in his profile, he put down brat tamer, right? So again, this whole sexual authority frame usually starts before you even message the girl. It starts with your profile, right? So she says, define brat tamer. She opens him, say, please. Again, a lot of guys, the mistake they make when the girl is like showing them interest, they just go head over heels and they're like, oh, let me give you like 20 definitions, right? But very few guys are going to tease the girl and still keep coy, right? You want to be a little bit coy. She's like, wow, guy responds, please. And then he doesn't respond right away. And she says, no question mark. To keep it simple, you have line, too bratty, I tame you, everyone is happy. Again, simple is better. You don't want to get into these like lengthy explanations, start justifying yourself. Keep it short and sweet. Sounds like something that would make me happy. I guess I was more interested in how you would tame me, pulling your hair from the root, bending you over and slapping that ass so hard it leaves a handprint. And this is a really good line. I always say that. Slap your ass so hard it leaves a handprint, because you want to paint a very visual picture for the girl. She says, would you wrap your hand around my neck as you're slapping my ass? I'd like that a lot. I want to meet you, right? So again, you can see that when you position yourself as sexual authority, the girl becomes very curious about meeting you. Choking you, squeezing your throat firmly while turning you into a whimpering, moaning mess. What nights are you free, or are you feeling spontaneous? You're so sure you can do that. I'm free Thursday night. I like a confident guy, by the way. Also pretty flexible during the work, so here's logistics. Flexibility is good. You want to have you straddled wide open, begging and moaning while I tease your dripping pussy lips with just the tip. So you also have to be right in a way that's sexually pleasing, right? So you can read books like 50 Shades of Grey, but basically most guys, when they talk about sex, they're like, I'm going to pound your pussy really hard. But you know, that without context, it doesn't sound that appealing. It has to be very like progressive, like you're starting from nothing, you're building up into it. There has to be a lot of sexual tension, intrigue. It can't just be all action. It should be like 70-80% intrigue and foreplay, and like 20 to 30% action. So she says, you talk a really good game, so what makes you sure I'll even dress for you? If you don't enjoy multiple screaming orgasms, then you probably shouldn't. So again, she gives him a shit test, right? But he doesn't just say, oh, but please meet me, right? He just responds with a takeaway. Who wouldn't want that? But I want to, what'd she say? I want to stop right before orgasm, make you beg to keep me. Tell me your name, please. Good girls get rewarded, blah, blah, blah. I'll accept sir, master, or daddy when appropriate. I'm fine with any of those, depends what kind of mood I'm in. Let me know when you want to meet. So again, this is the second time she asked for the date. This is going to be way more solid than some chick who's barely complying. How's Thursday around 12? Yeah, that works. Where I suggest somewhere, but you seem like having total control. Right? She sees him as an expert. You have coconut oil at your place. I don't, but I can get if you want. Good girl. Have some ready early Thursday afternoon, dressed in a loose skirt. Now, generally speaking, I recommend inviting the girl to your place, but I think his place wasn't an option. Yes, sir, but can we please meet a little earlier, like 11? My daughter gets home early in Thursdays. No worries. I'll be there earlier than between 10 and 11. Wouldn't want to. Again, this is like a really good example of how to invite yourself to a girl's place. If you don't have good logistics and you want to invite yourself to a girl's place, you have to set it up in a somewhat sexual way. It can't just be all like platonic. Hey, is your place an option? That's going to make no sense. Shoot me your number. We can trade details. So here she gives him the number, and here he sends her she says it's his birthday, so he sends a good picture of him, a nice selfie. She's like, thank you. Are we still meeting tomorrow? Yes, you still good for 10? I am. Where you located? Blah, blah. I'm going to need an address, you silly goose. Here's the address. Once you get the address, it's on. Good girl, looking forward to seeing you tomorrow morning. I'm looking forward to seeing you too. You still coming, right? Yep, leaving soon. Okay, good. On my way. Text when you get here. And then he sends her the funny emoji. She's like, agree. I want to do that again, please. We will for sure. Good, because I feel like I could have even a little better. Need to do a better job of taking that so big. Okay, I'm gonna go shoot up now. I don't know what the fuck she means. Like, this should mean like shoot up like what, heroin? I mean, I think she's just talking, like joking around. I'm imagining something better than that needle. I guess it's like an inside joke they have. Or are you telling me, please? I think I know, but I want to hear it. You blindfolded, restrained, bent over my lap, powerless, quivering with anticipation about what's going to happen next. So again, here he's teasing her. He sends her a picture of sex toys. You can see that this frame is very sexual. He positioned himself as an expert, and that is why he was able to invite himself to her place. Alright, hopefully you guys found this video valuable. As I mentioned in the beginning, this is a much more of an advanced concept because it has to be done smoothly and subtly, but if you can do this, you're going to find that your dates are going to become a lot more solid, and girls are going to be way more sexual when you meet them, right? Which is going to make the whole thing a lot easier. Show us some love by smashing the like button, hitting subscribe, click the bell for notification. Consider sharing this video with a friend if you found it helpful. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time.